everyone. We're Group 11 here to talk to you about stress management. My name's Chaku.
Moksha.
Morgan.
Samson.
So it's impossible to avoid stress altogether, but we can take strategies to adapt ourselves to effectively manage stress in our daily lives. So the presentation that we're doing is about 9 ways to handle stress from dawn to dusk. So let's begin with dawn. How many of you would say that you're a morning person? Yeah, I see a few hands go up. You guys basically have a superpower to be able to seize the day from the get-go. But for the rest of us, our stress begins from the moment that our alarm clocks go off in the morning. That's why it's good to have a proper morning routine. The key to having a stress-free morning is effective time management. And you have to be able to pace yourself out and know what you need to be doing in the morning so that you can go at a relaxed pace. And one way to do this is to be prepared from the night before by laying your clothes out and by printing out anything you need to be printed so that you have everything arranged and you're more streamlined in the morning. Don't be like this honking madman who's getting stressed out before he even arrives at work, because once he gets to work, each little setback, like a frustrating colleague or his computer not starting up, is going to add to his stress and add to his overall negative energy and negatively impact his day. Another way to improve your morning is to have a proper breakfast. And a proper breakfast has whole grains and fiber, and so you should avoid sugary and greasy foods like donuts and bacon. And research after research has shown that a proper breakfast boosts your memory and your concentration and reduces your anxiety and stress levels. And if you still find yourself being stressed out in the morning, then just try to adopt a positive attitude by being grateful for the things that you appreciate. And if nothing works, then you can try to trick your mind and your body into just smiling and saying, hey, I'm having a good day. And hopefully that'll at least shift you into the likelihood of having a better state of mind. It's also important to get organized. Always start your work or your school day with a plan in mind. You can do this by using a task list or a to-do list, and this reduces your anxiety because you know exactly what you need to accomplish, and crossing each thing off the list can give you a sense of progress and fulfillment that will build momentum and make you feel more successful. It's also important to be in an uncluttered environment. The more stuff that you have sprawled out on your desk, or if you're trying to study at home and you have food lying around and your clothes sprawled on the ground, all these act as distractions that draw your mind away from what you need to be doing. So if you sort all these things out, then you're able to better use your mental resources on the stuff that you actually need to learn and really need to solve. So according to a study done by Harvard, people spend an average of 11 minutes working on a puzzle before giving up and getting distracted and giving up if they were working in a cluttered environment. Whereas people in an uncluttered environment were able to do the same puzzle for 18.5 minutes. So this is 7.5 minutes more of steady focus. So this study proves that an uncluttered work environment results in, or is directly correlated to persistence in problem solving. So I'll hand it off to Morgan to talk more about stress-free problem solving techniques.
Thank you. All right. So first, we want to try and forget multitasking. All right, we want to do this because we always end up getting stressed out when we feel like we're overwhelmed with tasks, and we're going to wind up producing work at a much higher standard. All right, so first we can avoid it by trying to chunk our time. Now I do this using a 50-10-50 study habit, which means that I'll study for 50 minutes, and then I take a short 10-minute break, and then I go right back to studying. This helps me to focus on one subject or task for a certain set amount of time, and then I feel like I get a little bit of a break and I'm able to come right back into it refreshed. And this also helps me retain a lot more information over time. Next, we want to try and avoid procrastination as much as we can. All right, because the more you procrastinate, you're just going to wind up with quizzes, papers, tests, all this stuff stacking up, and you're going to have it all due the same week, but you won't have any of it done. All right, next, we have to eliminate our distractions. All right, so put your phone on do not disturb, put it on silent, or just put it in the other room and leave it there. Let yourself be free of distractions while you're trying to get this work done. All right. So, next, we want to get comfortable. Ways to notice that you're not comfortable at work. First, you just want to clear your mind. All right, often we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle that we're not really thinking about our own mental health or our own physical health. You want to take note of how you feel. When you clear your mind out, just kind of really think about, like, am I sitting appropriately? Take note of your posture. Make sure that you're not doing anything to yourself that's making your day even harder. Next, you might want to think about investing in your comfort. So I myself have a pretty nice new office chair that I got last year because my back was killing me after sitting for 4 or 5 hours. And that's something I do almost every day. Almost every day I'm at home in a chair sitting for hours at a time doing schoolwork, playing video games, or anything else. You might want to think about a standing desk. I know that a lot of people are using these days to stop from sitting down so much, keep themselves up and active. Some office spaces don't allow them, but if you feel like you get hot or cold, you could think about getting a heater or a tower fan of some sort to kind of keep your temperature more regulated. Or as well, if your office allows them, noise-canceling headphones can be great. They can really let you lock out from all the hustle and bustle going on around you and focus on what you really need to get done. So next, we want to be clear on our requirements. If we're not clear on our requirements, then we are always going to be stressed out because we're never going to feel comfortable with the work that we're doing. Limit the constant changes, all right? If things are changing all the time, that's just another thing that's going to get you even more stressed out and even more worried. Now, we can change things from time to time, but they need to be infrequent, and they definitely need to be well communicated. Everybody on your team needs to know if there's a change happening, what that change is, and what it entails. Last, meet with your manager to review. If you see any problems going on, if you're unsure of what your requirements are or the requirements for the project, meet with somebody who is clear on those things and talk to them. See if you can get a better understanding, or if you see a problem, see if maybe you can strategize a solution with them. All right.
Hi, walk at lunch. Walk at lunch, it means walking at lunch. It's really important for us. Like walk at lunch, it turns out as a smart thing to do. Going comfortable involves moving your body. It's easy to fall into the temptation of eating at your desk, but this is a recipe for a disaster. Like I would say, just sitting at your desk and eating your stuff is better than you go outside, meet with your friends, and take a short break. Take some short walk and go exercise. That's really important. It helps you to gain. It helps you to control weight, infuse your muscles tone, and reduce the stress. Take a walk or go for a short run, and consider exercise as one of your 5 fingers to wave goodbye to stress. Also, lunchtime stroll can immediately improve your mood, increase relaxation, and make you more enthusiastic about your work. For example, if you go outside, you get some idea. For example, like if you're trying to concentrate one of your things, but at your job, or you can able to do it, because you have to stress about your work and all that stuff. But if you go outside, go to like in a nature place or something, you get more ideas about your points, and you can get concentrated about your topic. Okay, avoid conflicts. It's easy to get wrap up in office politics, because interpersonal conflicts takes a toll on your physical and mental health. It's often in your best interest to avoid it as much as possible. There are several strategies you can employ. Avoid chit chat, gossiping, and then refrain from sharing too many personal opinions about religion and politics, and make a point of view avoiding those people who are not working well with others. If conflicts find you anyway, you have to learn how to deal with it appropriately. This involves developing your listening and emotional intelligence skills. Active listening, which entails stepping inside another person's issue and trying to see things from their perspective. It's really important. And by doing so, you will get others' trust and better understanding from their from their other points of view.
Alright guys, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to keep perfectionism in check in the workplace. Let's talk about what perfectionists are. So perfectionists are people who are prone to multitasking. Basically, these are people who have a constant desire to please with various tasks. They want to be perfect about everything. But usually when this happens is they bite off more than they can chew. So they typically have this high achiever mindset. You know, they just want to excel and succeed in everything they do. And they want to take on all the tasks and just be perfect at it and show everybody that they're perfect at it. This can prove to kind of drive you and like the people around you kind of crazy. You know, because who wants to have someone like just nitpicking at every little thing that you're doing in the workplace? So to overcome perfectionism, the first thing is to keep a diary of all these tendencies, of all these things that you feel like you really need to just keep in line, these traits that you need to be like perfect at. Just keep a list of these things, and whenever it's really bothering you, then you go back to this list and you revisit it and kind of just have like an internal conversation with yourself and be like, okay, so do I need to be stressing over this or not? The second thing is do a cost-benefit analysis of that trait. So what you can do is basically weigh the pros and the cons of your traits and just see if that specific trait is impairing your success. So if that trait is causing you to fall behind on other work tasks in the workplace, then you may need to just think about dropping it, or just altogether figure out what to do on that specific trait, right? So another thing to do is practice self-awareness. Basically, just tell yourself no one's perfect. You can't always do everything perfectly, right? You can't take on all of these, basically all of these tasks and make sure that, and just try to prove to people that you're just, the most amazing thing. Okay, and then our next thing is listening to music during drive home can be like a really good way to just relieve stress. I bet everybody knows, after a long day of work, you want to go home, you want to listen to music, you want to hang, you just want to chill. Musical preference varies widely between individuals, but research has proven that slower tempo songs like classical music is like the most calming type of music. Why? It's because listening to music after a stressful day improves health tremendously. It has a relaxing effect on the body and your mind, and it also has it's beneficial to your psychological function. So like slowing your heart rate and lowering your blood pressure. Also, another great thing for why listening to music is a great thing. Sorry, why listening to music on your drive home is a great thing is basically releasing emotions. So singing along is a great way to release tension, and singing karaoke is just a great way to get in a positive mood and just really be uplifting. So when you get home and you're talking to your family or something, you're in a better mindset, you're more prepared to talk to them in a positive way. And so managing stress from dawn to dusk can be really challenging, but fortunately with a strategy and plan, you can conquer the day and avoid stress levels. So in conclusion, these are the 9 different ways to handle job-related stress. Thank you.